what is your view about fidelity and faithfulness? Does this mean that you want to be free to have affairs? If a prospective spouse is saying, let's remove this, that certainly opens it up for a major discussion.
Yeah, and the way she explains it, they were young. She was, what, 27? They were young and in love. She got past it. But I agree with you. Better have that conversation and get that back in there, in those vows, you would think anyway.
Absolutely.
We're taking your calls, 1-877-TEL-HLN. Celeste, let's get back to the book now. We've tipped off a few of the details. What more are you learning? What stood out to you?
I mean, there were a number of things about the story that were pretty compelling. I mean, you know, as you say, he had asked that the issue of being faithful be removed from their wedding vows. But, I mean, the thing that was interesting was that she really did a step-by-step explanation of what this was like for her, how she found out that her husband was not being faithful to her, how she reacted to that emotionally, and how she dealt with that with her own 4 children.
How about that? How did she find out, Celeste?
Basically, she was going through her husband's desk looking for some family documents, and she happened upon a file that was just labeled B. The woman in question's name starts with B, and so she opened it up and took a look and was pretty surprised by what she saw in there.
She described her reaction?
Yeah, she said she lost her breath. She was shaking. I mean, she was obviously very upset when you've spent you know, I imagine when you spent that much time with somebody, have devoted not only your private life to, you know, having a good marriage and raising children, but she also devoted a lot of her life to managing his campaigns for Congress, and she also, of course, you know, for governor. So she had devoted herself to him in almost every way possible, and then she opens up a folder, and everything is gone. Yeah,
invested in more ways than one. Sheri, can you put into words the kind of hurt she must have felt?
You know, it's absolutely betraying when you think, this is my love, this is my husband, this is who I've devoted my life. I've had 4 children with, and one thing I believe we have is truthfulness and a partnership. And then to find out that your husband has betrayed you and has lied to you, and worse, for women, the hardest thing in the world is to find out that their partner has loved another woman. Yeah, sometimes we can accept cheating and sexual cheating, but when a man gives his heart to another woman and wants to see that woman, even after he knows he has hurt me, that feels like the ultimate betrayal. The first time she was willing to forgive him, when he couldn't give up the affair and he felt obligated and desirous to see this woman
let's talk about that.
I think that was the deal breaker.
The way she tells the story, he's begging to see the mistress one more time in New York, and basically saying, if you love me, you'll let me go.
Well, I think what she was saying was, you know, he said to her, look, I really need some closure. I think she had wanted him to just end it, you know, end it on the phone or just get it over with. And he said, no, I really need to. She basically said, okay, and he went up there with a chaperone, another person actually went up there to watch over him. But even that turned out to not be enough. And I think this, obviously, from what she describes in the book, was very painful. At one point, he says, you know, do you want to get old without ever knowing if you had a heart connection? And she says, well, you know, gee, I thought I had one with my husband.
Wow.
Come to find out that he had some different ideas about that.
Yeah. Speaking of Mark Sanford, a quick comment from him on the new book, Staying True, is coming out on Friday. Let's listen to what he had to say.
I've not read it, but I know that anything Jenny does, she does well, so I look forward to reading along with everybody else.
Sheri, I'll end with you on this one. For Jenny Sanford to write this book, can it help with her healing?
Well, it certainly helps with the revenge. Yeah. You know, what greater revenge is there than the tell-all story? You know, it's the ultimate, you know, saying you cannot control me and I can get even. Yeah.
Maybe getting a little bit of revenge with the book. You're right there. All right, Sheri, Celeste, guys, thanks so much. Coming up.